Hi, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow friends. Good afternoon, and welcome to join us right here in our Focus Point Advanced Primary Eye Care Roadshow, which is happening right now at the ground floor, Center Course of AU Motor City. So this is Amber. I'm the MC for today for this roadshow. So just now we already have our eye health talk, which we talk about the common eye problems among children. And moving on for this session, we will also like to talk about another topic, which is the alternative to spectacles in myopia control. So as we know that from the previous talk for myopia, we can treat it with the glasses, but just in case the glasses doesn't work, so what are the alternative to spectacles? So before we dive into this topic, and we have invited the professional to talk about this topic, let me once again introduce to you a little bit about our Focus Point Roadshow. So ladies and gentlemen, right here we provide you with our free eye screening where you can get your eyes checked, and also you can get some professional advice from our optometrist, and we will be here until the upcoming 3rd of March 2024. So do make sure that you share this information to your families and friends and invite them to join us in our Focus Point Roadshow, which is at our ground floor center course of AO Motor City. So today, for this session, to talk about the alternatives to spectacles in myopia control, we have invited an esteemed speaker. Today, we are honored to have invited the Professional Services Manager, Head of Training and Development of Focus Point Vision Care Group, Ms Chia Jho Yan. Hi, can you introduce yourself?
Thank you for the kind introduction, Amber. So I'm Chia. So today I will talk about alternatives to spectacles in myopia control. So why this topic was chosen is because we have several public sharing sessions which will talk about spectacles. So I thought of doing something different. Let's talk about what other alternatives we have. So I'm the head of professionals, head of training and development of Focus Point, and also the professional services manager. So a short introduction about myself. I graduated from UKM many years ago. So I graduated from UKM many years ago. So I've also did my master's and finished my master's in about 2013. So I spent about 7 years in retail. Apart from that, I've also lectured in Sagi University, UCSI University. I've done training for Bosch and Lomb, Bolton Optical Group, and also I've also volunteered in the Association of Malaysian Optometrists for about 5 years as their secretary, as their newsletter editor, and also to organize a few seminars.
All right, thanks for your introduction, and we are honored to have you to share about this topic. I'd like to ask, what is the general trend for this myopia, as in Malaysia and also like in across the whole world?
Malaysia at the moment is about 33% prevalence. So meaning about 33% of our population have myopia. So it's slightly higher in the Chinese, it's about 42% based on our studies. Whereas around the world, it varies across region. Of course, it's also dependent on genetic, it's also dependent on your lifestyle. So if we actually look at across the region, we can see that in Asia, especially East Asia, countries like China, Taiwan, Korea, Japan, Hong Kong is especially high, and it's at about 40% now, and in 2050 it will achieve 65% prevalence. So this one we are comparing 2000 to 2050. So in 50 years, it's 2024 now, so in about 26 years time, East Asia will be at about 65%. So Malaysia is also expected to increase, maybe not up to the 65% level. But if we actually look across the globe, the whole globe will be more than 50%. 58% in North America, Western Europe 56%, Australian 55%. So it will be more than 50% in across the globe by 2050. That is why this is a topic that has gained a lot of attention, especially from experts, from researchers, from practitioners in the market, and also from World Health Organization. So why we should control myopia? Basically, as if we listen to the talk earlier today, prevention is better than cure. So when you have myopia, you have higher risk of myopic maculopathy, which is a condition of eye degeneration caused by myopia. You have higher risk of open-angle glaucoma, which is high eye pressure in the eye causing damaged retinal cells, and also increased risk of visual impairment. So if we actually look at World Council of Optometry, basically we are focusing on mitigation, which is prevention, measurement, which is diagnosis, and management, which is how to control the disease or the condition. So we are going to look at alternatives of spectacle lenses in myopia control. So one of the main references that we were referring to is by an article by Contact Lens Spectrum, which is a very famous magazine. So first we will talk about autokeratology. So autokeratology is something we have in Focus Point, maybe not in every outlet, but we have it in Penang and also in KL. So in KL, we are actually starting it up in our ExcelView Eye Center, which is eye clinic under Focus Point. So we are going to focus on myopia control within that eye clinic. This is a temporary reduction in myopia by program application of a small rigid lens of 10.5 mm. So what this does is it corrects the peripheral image of the peripheral image by inducing peripheral myopia, and it has up to about 63% of control if we look at these 5 studies that we quoted here. So then up next we have soft contact lenses, mainly the multifocal contact lenses. If we look at the 5 studies here, we have control up to 79%. So one of the brands that we carry in Focus Point is the Cooper Vision MySight. We have about 20 outlets or slightly more than 20 outlets carrying it. It's also an alternative to myopia control in any case if our glasses do not work.
But as in for children to wear the contact lenses, what are the suitable range of each?
Actually, if based on study, 8 years old children can start wearing contact lenses. But if based on perception-wise, Cooper Vision also ran a study. They found that the parents think that children can only wear contact lenses at 13 years old, and the practitioners, which is the eye care, the opticians and the optometrists, feel that they can start wearing contact lenses at 11 years old. So, but studies show that 8 years old, they are capable to learn how to wear contact lenses already. So it's very much a barrier within a hurdle that the practitioner or the parents have to overcome, whether they want to encourage this contact lens wear or not. And also this lens that we are talking about is a daily lens, so the risk of infection is very low because they replace and they change the lens every day. So it's a very clean lens. So in terms of soft contact lenses, we also have this dual focus contact lenses, 6 years multi-center study. This study is on MySight. So MySight is very established and it has very strong evidence. It has 6 years 6 years research by Chamberlain and colleagues. So it has been shown that it has 59% myopia control or more. So this is another study, the Blink study. Blink study basically talks about multifocal contact lenses in myopia control. So it's also another brand called, this one they studied the Biofinity, which is also a Cooper Vision brand. They found that if you actually use the high edition, there's about 30% control. So this is another study on a new lens on extended depth of focus. This one we also carry the brand. It also controls about 30%. So, and the next one is atropine. Atropine is an eye drop. So we basically use this as a drug to control myopia. We put the drug at night before we go to sleep. And the control is basically about 60 to 70% based on the ATOM study at a 0.01 concentration. So this is also 0.01 concentration. This study was done in Japan, which was found to be very effective. This was done in China on 0.01% as well. This study was done on 0.02%, which they found to have minimal side effects and very effective myopia control compared to 0.01%. And this LAMP study is very controversial. What happened was they actually compared 0.05, 0.025, and 0.01. They conclude that 0.05% atropine is actually more effective in comparison. So there are some, especially in the US, northern US, they have started to use 0.05 concentration of these atropine drops because it was found to be more effective based on this study, the LAMP study. So if we actually summarize those techniques or therapies that we saw earlier, atropine has about 77% control on average. Soft contact lenses about 48 to 59% control. Auto K about 77% control. This is based on the article from Contact Lens Spectrum.
So I just wanted to ask for this eye drop atropine. So as you mentioned, it's like you applied it before sleep.
Yes.
So is it like daily?
Yes, we have to apply it every day. Normally, we apply it 1 drop every day into each eye.
Oh, I see. So any side effect for this atropine?
That's a very good and popular question. So far, they have done a lot of study on the safety of this drop. They have found that there is minimal side effects. Maybe it affects the accommodation, the focusing ability, but at a very, very low rate. So it doesn't really disturbs. It has very minimal effect. Yes. So at the moment, it is very safe based on studies. So next, I would like to highlight about red light therapy. Some people who are very curious, they will start reading and they find that red light therapy is something new. You have to expose a few minutes on the eye on low intensity red light, and it has been found to be effective of myopia control. But based on the Myopia Profile, which is a very popular online website to cover on myopia control products, they have actually found that there was one report that there is a side effect of macular damage due to this red light exposure. So in terms of safety, it's not very safe if we talk about macular damage. So I think this is something good to know, but maybe not so safe to apply. So popularity of treatment, they have actually did a study. They found that among the ophthalmologists, the 0.01% atropine is the most popular technique. So why? Because in general, the optometrists, they are doing atropine, they are doing auto K, they are doing soft contact lenses, they are doing glasses. So they are more spread out and more diverse. Whereas the ophthalmologists, they all do 0.01% atropine. So they are very united in the treatment that option that they choose. So that's why the 0.01% atropine is the most popular treatment modality.
So I'm just curious about
yes.
the 0.01. You mean there are like different concentration or what?
Yeah, there is different concentration available. But 0.01 is the most popular and is one that is more formulated.
More formulated, is it proven, like as you mentioned, more effective is 0.01?
It's the earliest drop to be found to be safe and effective.
I see.
Yeah, because they started with 1%, but they found that 1% got a lot of side effect and got rebound. The myopia become worse after you stop using it. So that's why they actually study further and they found that this low concentration of 0.01% is actually safer with less side effect.
I see. Safer with less side effects.
Yes. So then they also did a study on parents' preference. In the northern US, they found that auto K and also multifocal soft contact lenses are more popular. In combination, it's about 60% of preference of the parents surveyed actually prefer the auto K and the multifocal contact lenses. So what are the points to consider? So what other points to consider? Firstly, during the quarantine time, we actually have quarantine myopia. So more near work, more indoor time, less outdoor time actually encourage myopia to happen or myopia to progress. Then that was one study. This is a few studies. This is another one from Hong Kong. they also support the same saying that, if you actually have a lot of indoor time, less outdoor time, you get more myopia. This is also during the COVID-19 restriction period. The next study is actually from Thailand. They did the same thing and they have the same outcome and same finding. So this is time outdoors reducing myopia. This first study is from Shanghai. So they actually study and they found that, if you actually encourage the child to spend time outdoor, maybe 40 minutes or 1 hour every day during their break, it can actually control their myopia. And the next study is from Guangzhou. They actually allow students to have a 40 minutes break every day. And they found that the myopia increment rate is lower and the degree is lower.
So these few studies really show that during the quarantine period, so children tend to like stay inside with lesser outdoor activities, increase the myopia.
Yeah, more screen time, less outdoor activity, more indoor. It actually increase the myopia.
Also, as you
Yes.
mentioned, as a 40 minutes outdoor time actually helps to reduce the myopia.
Yeah.
So for parents to be aware on this myopia progression, it's good for kids to have like more outdoor activities.
Yeah, even if I used to have one patient, he was increasing at a rate of 75 every 3 months. So what happened was the father actually encouraged him to go swimming, and that actually reduced it to 75 a year. 0.75 increment a year. So it's actually a very good testimony, a very good example that outdoor activity can control myopia, because the child actually like to read. He's very small size, very short hands, and he likes to read very thick books. So that time it was increasing a lot, and when the father started to encourage him to go out to swim, to do outdoor activities, look further, and the power start to slow down. So it is actually proven in research and also in real life.
Yeah, it's proven in research, in the studies, and also in real life that parents should really encourage more outdoor activities for their kids so that they can help to reduce the myopia situation.
Yes. So, and also when you go on myopia control, another very important thing is measurement. So if you actually go on it and you come back to the optometrist after 2-3 years, you have no idea if there is control or not. So there should be a measurement every 3 to 6 months. So why this is important is for us to monitor whether the myopia control technique is successful, is working or not. So they should come back for eye checkups regularly based on the recommendation by the optometrist who prescribe the myopia control technique. So next will be combination and monotherapy. Anyone thought of combining treatments? So what happens is if we give them glasses, can we actually give them a drop as well to combine the treatment? Will it be stronger? It's a very good question. Some scientists actually thought of this problem, and they actually did a study, a few studies in fact by now, and they found that it is actually more effective in combination. So the first few studies, 2-3 studies was done on autoK and atropine, the drops and also the rigid lenses, and they found it to be statistically significant, meaning it works better. Then after that, Hoya side also did a few studies. They had their MyoSmart, which is one of the main lenses that we are promoting during this event, which is a myopia control spectacle lenses. They actually combined it with atropine and they found that it works better. So they have 2 studies. One, they did it in China. The second one, they did it in Europe. So it is found that although in Caucasian or in Asian, it works the same. It works better in combination. So some people will ask, when should we start a child on myopia control? When can my kid start myopia control? So the recommendation, if your kid is myopia, even like a 100 minus 1, and is school going, like 7-8 years old, it's a good time to start myopia control because the power is expected to increase, because nowadays schoolwork is really a lot. Then the tuition and everything, the mental arithmetic. So it's very taxing on the eye. There's a lot of deal work, a lot of burden. So the myopia is expected to increase. So as long as you have a school-going child that is myopic, that has short-sightedness, you should start them on myopia control. So then another good question is cessation, when to stop. If I have my child on myopia control at 7 years old, do I actually stop myopia control when she is 24 or 26 or can I stop earlier? So we have studies done. Studies have shown that myopia actually stops like in their 20s, maybe 24 to 28. So studies have shown that. But doesn't mean that the child have to wear myopia control glasses from 7 years old to 26 years old or 24 years old. So we have actually had a discussion within our group of optometrists, and we sort of come with a conclusion that if you could have a child on myopia control and you find that after 3 years or 2 to 3 years without any increment in myopia, it's a good time to consider stopping myopia control, because most likely the power has stabilized. So you don't have to invest like from 7 years old until 26 years old, 19 years of myopia control treatment. So maybe if stabilization within 2-3 years, we can consider to stop the treatment.
I see. So we also need like constant monitor.
Yes,
to
every
make sure.
6 months at least. Yeah. So then what do not work? There's a lot of practitioners out there, a lot of opticians, optometrists. Some of them, they practice certain things that are not proven by studies. So under correction, people like to drop the power by 50. So olden days, they think that if you drop the power by 50, it will control myopia. But studies have shown in 2000 that this does not work. So 2000 is like more than 24 years ago. So it's a very, very old thinking, a very, very old practice. And we shouldn't prescribe under correction, because it actually aggravates and promote myopia. So, and also GP lens at alignment fit. So the normal GP lens, not the auto K lens, do not work in myopia control. And also drugs that are not approved by FDA, because drug is something that we drop in the eye. So we need it to be very safe for the eye. So it's very important for the US Food and Drug Administration to test it out, put it through clinical trials to ensure that it is safe to use. So this drug, pyrazipyl methyl hasn't been proven effective and safe. So other things are like some supplements. There are no supplements that have been proven to work against myopia control at the moment. Pinhole glasses, which is actually very dangerous because it limits your field of view. Blu-ray filters, basically to soothe the eye when computer use, but not to do myopia control. Acupuncture, eye relaxation, eye massage exercises, and antioxidant eye drops are all some of the things that do not work in myopia control. So there's also a few studies in 2020 who actually found that sleep patterns, irregular sleep, not enough sleep, can actually contribute to increase in myopia. So bringing it all together, so effective is more outdoor activities. If we base on the Guangdong study, is 40 minutes. Reduce near work, we can actually see that during the COVID time, there's a lot of indoor activity and near work, and there's a lot of increment in myopia. So we need to reduce near work and indoor activity. We need to wear correct glasses, full correction, not under correction. We need myopia control glasses. We talk about glasses like Essilor-Stellus, Hoya MyoSmart. Why do we talk about those lenses? Basically because their efficacy is more than 50%, which is the ideal control that we need. And also myopin or atropine, 0.01 to 0.05%. Auto K, soft contact lenses like MySight, and also combination therapy, combination between glasses and atropine, contact lens and atropine. Yeah, so those are some of the things that works. So if we actually look at this diagram, very nice diagram produced by the myopia profile, they actually show that slower is safer. We want the myopia to go slow and steady. So if you want it to be fast, go for normal glasses. So by right nowadays, no children should go on normal glasses. All children with myopia or short-sightedness should go on myopia control. And we have bifocal treatments, glasses in bifocal with prism from Essilor. That's an older technology, but there's about 30% control. And also Biofinity plus 250 addition. That's with 30% control. Atropine, 0.01 to 0.05%. Hoya Myosmart Acilos Stellus, more than 50% control. MySight 59% control. Autokey about 77% control. So all these are all options we have, which is actually a lot. So my colleague will be talking about glasses in Myopia Control tomorrow. So stay tuned. They will bring you through all the options available. So I leave you at this slide on your options available. So thank you very much for your attention, and I'm free to take any questions from the floor.
Yeah, so I'm just curious, as you mentioned just now, the seems to be like the combination should be like more effective, is it?
Yes.
But just curious that let's say if I want to go through the myopia control, so normally we will just go for the monotherapy first. How do we decide whether combination or monotherapy?
Okay, in normal cases, if you go to an optical store, they will go for monotherapy, normally the glasses first. Why? Because it's the safest and the easiest. So if it doesn't work, then they will go on maybe the combination therapy, which is to add on the atropine eye drops. They will write a letter and ask you to go to a doctor who has atropine eye drops. So that's the normal case. But in certain cases, if the power is progressing very fast, like every 3 months, 75, 0.75, 0.75, that's very high. So they may go direct into combination therapy, which is the glasses or the contact lens and the atropine. So that's the normal situation. And also when we talk about treatment, the Myopia Control founder, which is Kate Gifford, she conducted a very insightful seminar recently. She actually mentioned that we should always correct optical myopia control techniques, then only go for pharmaceutical, which is the drugs. So ideally, we go for the contact lens or the glasses first, then we go for the drops as a combination, as a supportive therapy. So that is her recommendation in her a recent seminar conducted in January, if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
I see. Thank you for the detailed explanation. Before we end this session, any extra tips or any preventive measures for the public to take good care of our eyes?
Okay, so of course, prevention is better than cure. I didn't cover a lot about side effects, but actually myopia, when it's high, it can cause glaucoma, myopic degeneration. It can cause higher risk of cataract, retinal detachment. So there's a lot of diseases or chances of visual impairment that can come with myopia and high degrees of myopia, especially more than -6 diopters. So prevention is definitely better than cure. We want to catch myopia early at a low degree, ideally before -3, and we want to put them on myopia control to keep it at that level. Because any higher, they are at risk of a lot of diseases. But in terms of those diseases, I will leave it to my colleague to present later, because his one is more on myopia control as a whole, whereas mine is more on the alternative techniques. Yeah. So prevention is better than cure. We need to catch it early. We want to put everyone with myopia or myopia control lenses, myopia control options, so that we can prevent blindness. Yeah.
I see. Thank you for the detailed explanation. As our professional keep mentioning that prevention is better than cure. So early diagnosis, early treatment is definitely very, very important. All right, so that's all for our sharing session, and we still have some other public health talk for our Focus Point Roadshow. So ladies and gentlemen, do stay tuned with us in our Focus Point Roadshow, as in our AO Motor Broad City Ground Floor Center course, as we provide you with the free eye screening, and you can get your eyes checked for free, and also to get some professional advice from our optometrists. So do make sure that you share this information to your families and friends, and also do check us out right here in our Focus Point Roadshow. And once again, thank you, Ms. Chia, for sharing with us for this important and informative information.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you.
My pleasure.
Thank you, and shall see you in our Focus Point Roadshow.